Ladies and gentlemen, if you could grab your seats, we are ready to get our event underway. I'm Greg Sharp with the Husker Sports Network, and we're thrilled to have you here tonight as we honor our 72nd Outland Trophy winner, Ed Oliver, here tonight. We're also delighted to have Coach Bowden with us this evening as well. If you can take your seats, we're going to get our dinner underway here. At this time, if you would stand and rise as we have the colors presented by the Burke High School, U.S. Army Junior ROTC, followed by our national anthem sung by Jim Weber, singer-songwriter, retired United States Air Force, and that'll be followed by our invocation from Father Lloyd Gunnerk.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran glad, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let us pray. Strong and faithful God, we give you thanks for the many blessings you provide us in life. We ask you to bless the athletes whom we honor this evening, keep them safe, instill in them respect for each other, and reward them for their perseverance. We ask that you watch over all of us and inspire us to live lives of gratitude so that all we do is pleasing in your sight. Bless this food which nourishes us and is assigned to us of your goodness and blessings. Amen.
You may be seated. Enjoy your dinner. Our program will begin in about 30 minutes. Good evening once again. I'm Greg Sharp with the Husker Sports Network, and on behalf of the Greater Omaha Sports Committee, the Omaha World Herald, and the Rotary Club of Omaha, downtown in Douglas County, welcome to our banquet to honor the 72nd winner of the Outland Trophy. The Outland Trophy is the third oldest trophy in college football, behind the Heisman and the Maxwell. So it has a great depth behind it, and we're delighted to have Ed Oliver with us here tonight. Let me introduce to you our head table. I will start at my left, your right. We heard from Father Gernurk earlier on. Tim Cavanaugh with the Rotary is with us here tonight. Phil Taylor, the president of the Omaha World Herald. Steve Richardson from the Football Writers Association. He is the executive director. The Football Writers Association are the ones who vote on the Outland Trophy, and so their group is the one that gets us our winner each and every year. Coach A.J. Blum, who is the defensive line coach for the Houston Cougars, is with us as well. Ed Oliver, our 2017 Outland Trophy winner, is right there as well. Now to my right, your left, or far right, we will start with Chris Weber, who is our Novak Trophy winner, Husker linebacker. Our Cletus Fisher Native Son Award winner, Luke McNitt, is with us. The winner of this year's Guy Chamberlain Award, Drew Brown. And we are thrilled tonight to introduce Bill Moose, Nebraska's new athletic director. I don't think those were boos. I think you're okay. Yeah, no, you're good. And the winner of this year's Tom Osborne Legacy Award winner, the great Bobby Bowden, is here with us tonight. Former Nebraska head coach, Hall of Famer, Tom Osborne, with us as well. I'd also like to thank Bob Mancuso. I'm not sure where Bob is sitting tonight, but he and his family do so much work to put this on. I know they've spent a lot of time with Ed, both in Atlanta when we met Ed and when he was presented this award at the Home Depot College Football Awards in December. But Bob does a great job along with his brothers. So Bob, wherever you are, wave your hand. We appreciate you and your efforts on this every year. Chris, he's clearing the back. Can we get Bob like closer to the stage? I mean, he's like in the back row back there, but that's Bob. He just likes to do that out there. We do have some football royalty besides what's up here on our dais that's here with us tonight. Let's welcome the winner of the 1972 Heisman Trophy, Johnny the Jet Rodgers, is here tonight. Johnny. Johnny's in the back too. He's clear back there as well. He and Bob having a good time. The winner of the 1971 Outland Trophy, Larry Jacobson's over here to my left. Larry? We've had one in the great history of the Outland Trophy, one two-time winner. You all know, that's Dave Rimington, 1981 and 82. Dave? And the winner of the 1994 Outland Trophy, Zach Wiegert, is in attendance with us as well. Zach? I mentioned that the Football Writers Association is the group that organizes, votes, collects all the data, and picks our winner each and every year. Steve Richardson is the executive director of that Football Writers Association. I'd like to have him come forward and say a few words. Steve?
Greetings from the 1,300-member strong Football Writers Association of America. We are very pleased to welcome Ed Oliver, our 2017 Outland winner from Houston. He's our first sophomore winner ever. And today, at the luncheon, someone asked him how he made his decision to stay in college football this year, and we kind of chuckled because he is a true sophomore. So he didn't have a choice. He's coming back next year. So Dave, watch out. He will try to match your record of 2 straight. Certainly, I want to recognize 2 of the legendary coaches, obviously, in college football history. Bobby Bowden and Tom Osborne, who had great matchups. Today, Bobby, I don't want to steal any of his dialogue. He has enough dialogue to keep you here for 3 hours probably, and then some. I mean, he is remarkable with his stories, but I did remember when he did talk about the fact that when they came in here and Florida State wasn't that great at that point. No one, as he said, no one knew who we were, and they upset the Huskers. And he walked out of the stadium, and he's used to being in some of those places in Florida in the SEC or the ACC. And at the time, I don't think they were in any league at that point. And he started beating people, and he walked off the field, and people would be spitting at him and throwing things at him. And here they clapped for him, and he didn't see that very often in his career. But anyway, love Coach Bowden, and of course Tom Osborne. I was in Kansas City and covered his great teams, and phenomenal run here, and one of the great programs in college football history. Obviously, for years and years and years, they were the best. So, coaches, well done. This past week, the FWAA honored with its coach Eddie Robinson, Coach of the Year, Scott Frost. He obviously, in a very short time, took a winless UCF program, and 2 years later, they were 13-0, and if they had enough teams in the playoff, they probably should have been in there. He's certainly a coach that can have success here in time. He is smart, he is approachable, and he's principled. Plus, I do like a coach who will have dinner in the press box with the media, as he did Monday night in Atlanta as he was fulfilling media obligations. So someday he may be the coach on the sideline of that game. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Tiger. The Omaha World Herald employs a couple of members of that Football Writers Association. Our honorary chairman of the event tonight is Phil Tater, president of the Omaha World Herald. Phil, come on up.
Thanks, Greg, and good evening, everyone. As some of you may know, the World Herald has been a sponsor of the Outland Awards Banquet for each of the 21 years that the award has been given in Omaha, and we're extremely proud of that partnership. As many of you may also know, the Outland Trophy is voted on by the Football Writers Association of America. These writers bring the rich and compelling stories of this great sport to millions of readers each and every day. We're fortunate at the World Herald to have a number of those award-winning writers on our staff, and I know I'm probably more than just a little biased, but I think they do a fantastic job. I know we had a few who would be here tonight, but they're under the weather. But I'd like to just say to any of our World Herald sports writers who might be here this evening, thanks for the great job that you do for our readers. I'd also like to send a quick thank you to the Outland Banquet Committee led by Bob, Joe, and Mike Mancuso. I know Greg sent out a thank you, but that team works tirelessly on this event, and I think we'll all agree they do a fantastic job. So how about another quick round of applause for the Mancuso brothers. So I'll end by simply saying congratulations to all of tonight's winners. Most of us in attendance this evening can only imagine the talent, the hard work, the perseverance, the heart that it takes to be in their shoes. Your future is certainly bright, and we're honored to have you here with us tonight. So again, on behalf of the World Herald, thanks to everyone in attendance tonight for your support of this Outland Award banquet. Enjoy what's sure to be a great evening. Thank you.
One of the fun parts of this night is a chance to honor some of the Husker seniors who just completed their academic and athletic careers at the University of Nebraska. So we'll jump into that portion of our schedule next. And we will begin with the Guy Chamberlain Trophy, which was inaugurated in 1967 in memory of a former great Nebraska All-American football player who went on to not only be a member of the College Football Hall of Fame, but the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It is presented to the senior player who is shown by the play and contributions to the betterment of the University of Nebraska football squad that he has the qualities and dedication of Guy Chamberlain to the great Cornhusker tradition. Please watch our screens.
In 1915, Guy Chamberlain became Nebraska's first consensus All-American. Chamberlain is also one of the very few to be named to both the College Football and National Football League Hall of Fames. The legendary Chamberlain became the premier end of the NFL in the 1920s and was a player or coach on 4 NFL championship teams. Each year, the Guy Chamberlain Award is given to a senior who uses his qualities and dedication for the betterment of the Nebraska football team. The 2017 recipient of the Guy Chamberlain Trophy is senior kicker Drew Brown. South Lake, Texas native Drew Brown wrapped up his Nebraska career as one of the top place kickers in school history. Brown started all 51 games in his Husker career and became just the 4th player in school history to make 50 career starts. Over those 51 starts, Brown was one of the nation's most consistent kickers. Brown handled the place kicking and kickoff duties for the Huskers in 2017 and earned all Big Ten recognition for a 3rd straight year. Brown connected on 12 of 14 field goals and made all 37 of his extra point tries. Brown made a season-high 4 field goals in a win at Purdue, including a season-long 44-yard field goal. In that game, Brown tied his brother Chris on the Nebraska career field goal charts before passing him to take sole possession of 2nd place later in the season. Brown also made his mark off the field as a senior class award candidate in 2017 and a nominee for the Warfel Trophy and the AFCA Good Works team. He was also a 3-year member of both the Brooke Beringer and Tom Osborne citizenship teams. Brown completed his undergraduate work in just 3.5 years, earning his degree in supply chain management in December. The 2017 Guy Chamberlain Award winner, Drew Brown.
We are thrilled tonight to have Ryan Held, who's a new member of the Husker football staff. He's going to be Nebraska's running backs coach. He's going to present Drew his trophy.
Congratulations, Drew, and here's your trophy, and good luck in life. And you've represented Nebraska with a lot of class, professionalism. We look forward to your future. Thank you so much.
Wow, I mean, what an unbelievable honor. Just looking at the list of the guys before me that have won this award, guys, I mean, it's I can't put it into words. Guys like Alex Henry, who I look up to a lot, you think he's sitting right up there. I just want to thank the people that motivate me the most to win this award, like my family, my teammates, all my coaches. I want to thank Coach Bo for giving me the opportunity to come to such a great institution and play. I also want to thank Coach Riley for, just ultimately teaching me to be a better man off the field and on the field, and allowed me to really pursue my dream of kicking here and doing what I did. And just thank you so much for everything. Thank you to the committee as well for voting me for this prestigious award. And have a great night, safe travels, and go Big Red.
Drew, Alex is just glad you don't have any more games left. He still holds the number of field goal kicks. Alex Henry is also here with us tonight as well. Great to see Alex in the audience tonight. Time now to introduce the winner of the Cletus Fisher Native Son Award. Watch our screens.
Cletus Fisher belongs to a very select group of individuals who both played and coached for the Nebraska football team. One of 4 Fisher brothers from St. Edward, Nebraska to play for NU. Cletus was a halfback and a safety from 1945 through 1948. He went on to coach the offensive line for the Huskers from 1959 through 1985. The Cletus Fisher Native Son Award is voted on by the Husker coaching staff and is awarded to the senior who best exemplifies good work ethic, competitiveness, leadership, pride, and a love of Nebraska. The 2017 recipient of the Cletus Fisher Native Son Award is senior fullback Luke McNitt. Kearney native Luke McNitt completed his Nebraska career in 2017, serving as a team captain and continuing as a key contributor to the Husker offense and special teams. The former UNK transfer and walk-on provided a steady presence in the Nebraska backfield during his senior campaign. McNitt played in every game as a senior, including a pair of starts at fullback. He carried the ball 6 times for 10 yards on the year and also had a pair of receptions. McNitt was one of Nebraska's top performers on coverage units, registering 6 tackles, including 4 solo stops. McNitt was honored off the field throughout his career. He was a 2-time academic All-Big Ten selection and earned the Huskers' prestigious Lifter of the Year honor in 2016. McNitt graduated with a degree in management in December. The 2017 Cletus Fisher Native Son Award winner, Luke McNitt.
And here to present Luke his plaque is former Husker and current offensive line coach for Nebraska, Greg Austin, who, by the way, when he was playing for the Huskers, won the Novak Award. So here you go.
Good evening. On behalf of the Nebraska coaching staff, Luke, it's our honor to present you with the Cletus Fisher Native Son Award.
Thank you. First off, I'd just like to thank the Fisher family for this great award. Looking back at the past winners, and kind of learning about the man that Cletus Fisher was, it's been a very humbling experience for me. I'd also like to thank my family. There's a few of them here today. They've been my biggest support system throughout my whole career, throughout my whole life. And they made it to just about every single game throughout my whole career, and I can never tell them how much that means to me. And last, I'd like to thank all my coaches, teammates, everyone up at the stadium that, made this happen. Thank you. Go Big Red.
Luke was right. We do have some members of the Fisher family that are here. It's always great to see you guys. We thank you for coming, and we also have some members of the Novak family that are with us tonight as well. We always appreciate the Novak family. Usually gets by 3 tables. They pack them in here for this award. Time for the Tom Novak Trophy. Let's watch our screens.
Tom Novak was the first Nebraska player to ever have his jersey retired. Novak is still regarded as one of the best and toughest to ever wear the Husker uniform. A fullback, center, and linebacker, the Omaha native remains Nebraska's only 4-time All-Conference selection. Novak's number 60 was retired following the 1949 season and is one of only 2 Husker jerseys permanently retired to date. Courage and determination were traits of All-American Tom Novak. Each season, a trophy honoring these characteristics is given in Novak's name to a senior who best exemplifies these traits. The 2017 recipient of the Tom Novak Trophy is senior linebacker Chris Weber. Elkhorn, Nebraska native Chris Weber capped off his career with an outstanding season as the leader of the Black Shirts. The former walk-on was voted team captain by his teammates and finished the season as the Huskers' leading tackler. In his senior campaign, Weber recorded 4 games with double-figure tackles in 2017 and totaled a team-high 95 tackles, including 39 solo stops. Weber ranked second on the team with 9 tackles for a loss and added 5 pass breakups and an interception. Weber earned a scholarship for his final 2 seasons and finished his Husker career with 167 career tackles, with 15 of those being for a loss. In addition to his on-field accomplishments, Weber made an equally large impact off the field. One of the top student athletes in Nebraska football history, Weber was a first-team COSIDA Academic All-American in 2017 and earned Academic All-District accolades for the 3rd straight year. He was also the recipient of the prestigious National Football Foundation Scholar Athlete Award. Weber carries better than a 3.96 cumulative grade point average in nutrition science and will graduate in May of 2018. The 2017 Tom Novak Trophy recipient, Chris Weber.
And here to present Chris his trophy is former winner of the Guy Chamberlain Award and Husker linebacker coach Barrett Rude.
Chris Weber represents everything about Nebraska that's made this place great for the last 40 years, and Tom Novak himself could not have picked a better guy to represent him in this award. So it's my honor to present the Tom Novak Award to Chris Weber.
Wow, thank you. First off, I'd like to thank the Novak family for this award tonight. I'd also like to thank my family and my wife for the support they've given me throughout my career, throughout my life, and just helping me become the person that I am today. I'd also like to thank my teammates, coaches, the University of Nebraska for taking a chance on a kid like me and let me walk on and follow my dream. Nebraska is just a special place to a lot of people, and it's filled with great people as well, like Tom Novak, so it's an honor to win this award. I'm just thankful that I was able to be a part of it. Thank you.
A few years ago, the committee that puts this event on decided to come up with a special award to honor people who have meant so much to the sport of college football that we all love so much, and who better to name it after than Tom Osborne. So the Tom Osborne Legacy Award we began 4 or 5 years ago, and so honored to have Coach Bowden with us here tonight. Let's take a look at the screens.
Few, if any, coaches have impacted college football more than Tom Osborne when it comes to producing great linemen. His legacy of building a strong foundation in the trenches, whether it was an offense or defense, endure to this day. Individuals considered for the Tom Osborne Legacy Award are those who played, coached, or made extraordinary contributions to the interior line of college football. The Tom Osborne Legacy Award is awarded to an individual who exhibited the characteristics of integrity, sportsmanship, and fair play demonstrated by Coach Osborne.
For more than half a century, Bobby Bowden made an impact on the college football world. The list of accomplishments is amazing. 411 victories, 2 national titles, 2 Heisman Trophy winners, 12 Atlantic Coast Conference titles, and so much more speaks volumes to his success as a coach. However, his most tangible legacy remains as the architect of the Florida State football dynasty. During his 34 years as Florida State's head coach, he had only one losing season, his first in 1976. From 1987 to 2000, the Seminoles finished every season with at least 10 wins and in the top 5 of the Associated Press College Football Poll, and won the national championship in 1993 and 1999. They were particularly dominant after joining the Atlantic Coast Conference in 1992, winning or sharing 9 consecutive conference titles from 1992 to 2000, and only losing 2 conference games in that stretch. Coach, teacher, he realized that every player was somebody else's son and treated them accordingly. The wins pale in comparison to the lives he has touched and influenced. In 2006, Coach Bowden was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. No coach in major college football history has won more games than this Seminole Warrior. Congratulations to Coach Bobby Bowden, this year's recipient of the Tom Osborne Legacy Award.
At this time, I'd like for Tim Cavanaugh of the Rotary to come up to introduce the man the award is named after. Tim?
Thanks, Greg. My name is Tim Cavanaugh, and I'm the chairman of the Downtown Rotary's Outland Trophy Committee. Our president, Bill Harvey, took ill this afternoon, and I'm here filling in for him. Rotary International is the world's largest service organization with over 1.2 million members around the globe. Our most aggressive project is in partnership with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, working to eradicate polio from the face of the earth by 2018. The goal is obtainable with the virus only remaining endemic in 2 countries. In addition to the good we perform around the world, Rotary is also committed to improving the communities in which we live. To paraphrase a movie line, where we find a need, we meet a need. 21 years ago, the Rotary Club of Omaha became aware that from 1946 through 1989, the Outland Trophy winners did not actually receive a trophy for their achievement. They would just receive a certificate or a plaque. With our passion for college football here and the proud Nebraska tradition of producing exceptional linemen, this was an injustice that needed to be remedied. 2 Rotary Club members, the late Bob Mancuso and retired General Jim Murphy, and Jim, you're here tonight. Would you stand up, big knowledge, please? Those 2 started the Rotary tradition of honoring a previous winner each year with an authentic Outland Trophy. As a member of the Rotary Club of Omaha and a football fan, I'm exceptionally proud that we have successfully presented an Outland Trophy to those that did not receive one and remedied that injustice. Today and for the last 3 years, we at Rotary have been just as excited to sponsor the Tom Osborne Legacy Award. Again, a perfect fit for us to step up and recognize outstanding individuals who, like Tom Osborne, exemplify the Rotary International motto, service above self. This year's recipient, Florida State's legendary coach Bobby Bowden, a winner on and off the field, is an excellent choice. It is now my pleasure to ask Dr. Tom Osborne to say a few words and present the 4th Legacy Award to Coach Bobby Bowden. Coach.
Well, thank you very much. First, I'd like to congratulate Ed. Tremendous honor on his part, and also Luke and Chris and Drew for their awards. Thank all of you for being here tonight. And particularly want to thank Bill Moose for being here. I think Bill made a great choice in a coach. And I think great things will happen under Bill's leadership. And of course, as you know, Bobby won more games than anybody else during his coaching time. And I asked him, I said, Bobby, why in the world would you come up here at this time of year for this award? And he said, well, he thought he'd want to come up here because he enjoyed the weather so much up here in Nebraska. And so Bobby coached for 40 years and set a lot of different standards and records. And as has been mentioned, at one point he won more than 10 games, 14 straight years, and was ranked in the top 5 at some point for 14 straight years. And I think that consistency, that level of excellence is pretty much unsurpassed. And at one time during that period of time, he won 11 straight bowl games. And this was the start of a problem because I noticed that, and you know, Bobby and I interacted quite a bit, and so I asked him if I could come down to Tallahassee and ask him a few questions. And so I went down there to visit, and he was very gracious. He showed me the graveyard. You don't know about that probably, but they have a graveyard down there with tombstones. And every big win they had, they have a tombstone with the name of that team they beat. And so I wandered around there and kind of nodded, and I took notes on everything he did. And he said, you know, the reason we won all those bowl games is after the last game, we would we'd take 2 weeks off. We wouldn't practice, and then we'd have a couple light practices, and then maybe a pretty heavy week, and then we'd go play. So I thought, well, if Bobby was winning that way, we'll do it too. And so that launched our string of 7 straight bowl losses. And we and at least 3 or 4 of those losses were to Florida State. So we added a whole bunch of tombstones down in his dadgum graveyard. But anyway, philosophically, Bobby and I were probably more closely aligned than any other coach that I knew. I had great admiration for him, certainly as a coach and all that he accomplished, but also as a person. And the fact that he truly cared about his players, did a great job of developing players, bringing people along. And he took over a program that was in pretty bad shape at Florida State and played a lot of games on the road because of it. And it turned it into one of the best, and if not the best, program for a long time. So it's a real honor for me to present this award to Bobby. Couldn't be a more deserving person than I can think of, and we really appreciate his taking time to come up here tonight. So, Bobby, come on up.
I was just thinking when what I was going to say, you know. Coached 57 years. Played out at Southern Cal, played at Michigan, played at Ohio State, played at Texas, LSU, Georgia, Alabama, Notre Dame, Clemson, Arizona State, Oklahoma. None of them were as good as Nebraska. None of them. No, we were never treated better than when we played at Nebraska in 1980 and the times that we came up here. I'll never forget when the first year we came up here. It's the first time I'd ever been to Nebraska. And just to show you what kind of guy he is, we were in the dressing room probably about an hour before we were going out on the field and warm up. somebody knocked on our door. I opened that door, and it was Tom. Came by our dressing room, asked me, do y'all need anything? Do you have everything you want? Etc., you know. And I never had that happen before, you know, and I always appreciated that. It's always great competing. Tom and I are a lot alike. Mutt and Jeff. He's got all of that height. You know, I was short, a little short. But our philosophy is so much alike, you know. We present it in different ways, but it's so much alike. But you people are something. He just made the greatest hire in the United States of America. He did. I really believe it. Him bringing Coach Frost back reminds me of when Bear Bryant came back to Alabama. I was coaching down there at that time. And he came home because it was his alma mater. And he came home because it's where he played ball. And he came home because that's where he'd always wanted to be, you know. And he built a dynasty down there. I have a real good feeling about this young man. I haven't met him yet, but I'm anxious to, because Tommy probably has a whole lot of your qualities as well. But again, I want to thank you and the people of, I get invited up here probably about once a year. I never turn it down. I never turn it down. If I don't have something, I won't be here. And I want to thank you for being such great people. Thank you very much.
I want to ask you a question, is that all right? I want to ask Coach a quick question, and somebody came up while we were eating dinner and said it to you. You broke a lot of Husker hearts in 1993. You remember that game at all in the Orange Bowl?
No, I hardly remember that one. No, Tom and I were going to play in that national championship game, and I had about 4 years before that, number 2 in the nation, number 3 in the nation, number 4, number 3, and old Bobby can't win the big one. That's all I heard. Then we're playing Tom. Tom, like me, he ain't won that dadgum thing either, you know it. And so one of us is fixing to win it, you know. And Florida State, they outplayed us. That's no secret. They outplayed us, outgained us and everything. But we were able to kick a field goal at the end of the game and win it. And it of course, meant a lot to us. And so what does he do? He wins the next 3 out of 4. I don't like it. Hey, I don't like him anymore. No, thank you very much. Great guy right here.
Something tells me Coach Osborne is not going to like me bringing up the 93 game. But well, we are here tonight to honor the 2017 Outland Trophy winner, the 72nd version of this great trophy. Let's watch our screens.
They are known as the game's true warriors. The men that battle in the trenches to decide who wins games. No glory of scoring touchdowns. Few autograph seekers following the game. Little mention of their names during the contest. But the outcome each week depends on their play. For this, we recognize the top lineman in college football with the second oldest trophy in the sport, the Outland Trophy. Football's real men.
It's my honor to introduce the 72nd winner of the Outland Trophy, Ed Oliver, Houston.
Houston's Ed Oliver is the first defensive player since 2013 to win the Outland Trophy. Oliver was a terror on the field in 2017. At 6'3" and 290 pounds, Oliver had 73 tackles, 14 tackles for losses, 5.5 sacks, 7 quarterback hurries, and 2 forced fumbles. Oliver had an impressive season despite playing a month with a knee injury and constantly facing double and triple team blocks. Oliver was named the American Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Year and was a consensus All-American. ESPN college football analyst Rod Gilmore called Oliver the best defensive player in college football today.
Best player in college football is a defensive player, Ed Oliver, defensive lineman at Houston. Unbelievable. Outland Award winner. We're talking about a guy who brings everything to the package. Comparisons to Aaron Donald, to Ndamukong Suh. That's the kind of talent that he has. And when you watch him, you're just blown away with his quickness. Put him up on a center. Let him get there. Quickness, 1-2, blows by him. He's got that. You worry about athleticism? Not with him. Think a 300-pounder can't get off the ground? Look at that. Leaps up, knocks down a pass. And then the other factor, the relentless motor. He is never down, never out. He will continue and come back and make a play when you think you have him blocked. I think he is the most disruptive force in college football.
Oliver leads the nation with a career average of 1.56 tackles for losses per game, totaling 39 tackles for losses in only 25 games played, while playing the nose spot in a 3-man front. Oliver made history this year when he became the first sophomore to win the award in the 72-year history of the Outland Trophy. Congratulations to Ed Oliver of the University of Houston, the 2017 Outland Trophy winner.
We are delighted to have A.J. Blum, who's the defensive line coach for the Houston Cougars, here tonight to present Ed his trophy. Coach?
Good evening. It's been a crazy 365 days. A year ago I was a high school coach, and I actually had the opportunity to coach Ed and see him come up through the ranks. I was asked to say some impressive things about him. I can tell you about when he was dunking as a 7th grader. I can tell you about when he dared me that he couldn't jump over a John Deere gator, and he did. His 103-yard fumble recovery when he was a sophomore in high school. A lot of impressive things I could talk about, but most impressive is just to see how he's grown as a football player. His goal was always to be the best. It was never, I want to be like this guy, I want to be like this guy. He was blessed to play with a lot of good football players, and he always wanted to be the best. And that was one thing that he always told me, and it's one thing he's kind of, stood behind. From his sophomore year in high school, he was an All-American, and he still is an All-American as a sophomore in college. So I don't think there's been a year where you haven't been an All-American, but it's my pleasure to present to you the 2017 Outland Trophy winner, Ed Oliver.
Oh, it feel good. I want to thank you all for coming out here tonight. It's a great honor and a very humbling experience. First, I want to thank God. Then I want to thank my family for always pushing me to be the best me every day, especially my brother Marcus. It's a 2-year difference between us, but I always kind of looked at him like a twin. I played with his friends, even though they was 2 years older, and I guess that's why I'm so good. I don't know. I want to thank the coaches that helped me get here, because without them, I wouldn't be here, especially Coach Blum. He known me since I was a young guy running around in middle school, so he been with me the whole way. And I want to thank the football writers and for voting for me and everyone who supports this award out here in Omaha. But as I stand here today, I'm not just saying thank you for me, but I'm saying thank you for my city. They've been behind me the whole way too. So go Cougs on that one. And this isn't for me. This is for my teammates. This is about the University of Houston. This is about my city. This award is won by one player, but no one player can win this award by themselves. So I wish my team was here with me to accept the award, but that's just not possible. Yesterday I went to Boys Town to see those guys right there. How Father Finnegan changed the lives who society had pretty much so gave up on, and it meant a lot to me. I find it kind of related to football. Those guys showed up to the forum as individuals, and Father Finnegan gave those guys brothers in a family environment, and kind of changed their lives. Just like when you show up to college, you show up as an individual, and through the loving of the coaches and your brothers, you become a family. And when you're playing for your family, you tend to play a little bit harder. So like with those guys becoming a family, and with us becoming a family, you tend to play a little bit harder. And because of my brothers, why I'm standing up here today. A couple of my guys that I seen yesterday are out here today. They right there at table 12. It's an honor to meet you yesterday. We're all going through adversity throughout our life. The true test of a champion is how you respond from it. You guys have been through adversity. Y'all face adversity in your lives, and the dudes at Boys Town help y'all overcome it and come out on top. We will face adversity again in our life. Do not let it stop you. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, when it's dark enough, you see the stars. You kept your eyes on the stars, and you inspired me to do the same. Thank you. I just want to say thank you for everybody that came out tonight to watch me get my award, and safe travels back home tonight.
Going to tell a little on Ed, and Coach Blum will back me up on this. He had 2 steaks tonight and 3 desserts, I think is what you had. He loves that chocolate cake. Cougars open against the Rice Owls next September. We wish Ed and the Cougars the best of luck. Coach, appreciate you making the trip up here. Coach Bowden, what a treat to have you in Omaha. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Congratulations to our Husker Award winners. Thank you all very much for being here tonight. Drive carefully going home. Good night. Go Big Red.